What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another video. For well over a century now, roller coasters have provided some top-notch entertainment for guests and families alike. Every year, the coaster industry promises some new roller coasters to come out and provide some new thrills for first-time riders. Today, we're going to be looking at some of the best rides coming this year in 2019. Even though they're a fairly new concept, launch coasters have been popping all over the place. And that's going to kick off our list. At number 10, we have West Coast Racers at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Even though this isn't the tallest and fastest coaster coming out, it still looks like a very unique and fun experience. This roller coaster is going to provide a unique Mobius loop experience, which is consistent of one continuous track with two parallel sections next to each other. This is going to be the only quadruple launch coaster on the planet, and to top it all off, it's themed after the world-famous West Coast Customs in downtown Los Angeles. This dueling coaster has a lot of similarities to another coaster in the park, Twisted Colossus, which is also a Mobius loop. I can't wait to see how these two compare, and I really hope I can get out to ride this thing someday. At number 9, we have the other Six Flags launch coaster coming in 2019. We got Max Force at Six Flags Great America in Illinois. This thing looks incredible. It goes out with a bang, and even though it's a shorter ride, it still looks like it's going to provide a great thrill for guests coming to the park. This is going to be the first SNS air-powered launch coaster in the United States since Hypersonic XLC closed. This ride has some very unique elements like a couple of double inversions and a high-speed zero-G roll, but at the same time, that extreme launch looks incredible. It's definitely going to knock people's socks off. Coming in at number 8 is our first roller coaster overseas. We got Mystic at Walibi Rhone Alps. Now, this is one of the less popular Walibi parks, and this will definitely help with the lineup. This Gerstlauer Infinity coaster will soar to a height of 101 feet, which may not sound like a lot, but the layout looks extremely promising, including a zero-G roll, a dive drop, and a switch track with a top hat. And this ride in general just looks pretty sweet. It is on the shorter side, it's less than 2,000 feet, but its short duration will definitely show how intense of a ride this will be. Number 7, we're going back to the States with another Gerstlauer Infinity coaster, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shell Raiser, which is basically, well, the steepest coaster on Earth. It is not open yet, but it's going to be inside the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. It is going to be an identical clone to a roller coaster in Japan called Tagashiba. Many of you probably have heard of this ride because it is currently the steepest on Earth. The one minor change they're making to this ride in the American Dream Mall is that they're just making it a little steeper, marking it the steepest coaster on Earth. This has gotten a lot of publicity from news outlets across the globe, and I guarantee once this thing opens, a lot of people are coming to New Jersey. At number 6, we have Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal Studios Orlando. This is pretty unique. Replacing the dueling infamous B&M inverting coasters, Dragon Challenge is this Vekoma Moto coaster. And I have to say, it looks pretty sweet. This ride is going to be themed to Harry Potter. It's going to be an expansion to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and I guarantee it's going to have a really big audience this year. Moving up to the Carolinas will be our number 5 spot, which is Copperhead Strike at Carowinds. This roller coaster is actually currently in the process of opening right now. I've talked to a few people who've ridden it, and they've said it's pretty good. This Mac multi-launch has a couple of weird, unique elements that we haven't seen before. For example, a launch on an airtime hill. Just think about accelerating above that hill, floating out of your seat while you're gaining speed. Plus, there's a lot of hang time on this ride, including those 2 vertical loops, that cutback, and versions like that. The POV came out recently, and this ride is definitely on the stages of becoming a Carowinds classic. At number 4, we got Taiga at Linnanmäki in Finland. This Intamin Blitz coaster looks extremely unique, extremely sweet, and reminds me of a lot of roller coasters made by Intamin, kind of like something like Nefeskeffen, or something like Ice Speed, or even something like Maverick at Cedar Point. This ride looks incredible and will easily be the number 1 sleeper hit of this year, because I would be really excited for that 170-foot top hat with a weird, unique element called a 0G winder, with 2 LSM launches, a dive loop in Immelman, and one more inversion to end this incredible ride. This is going to be a very long ride, and definitely deserves to be really up high. But the top 3 are some of the best of the best. These are the best star attractions coming this year, and I have to say, all 3 of these rides are incredible. But first, cracking the bronze, we have Steel Curtain at Kennywood. Man, am I excited for this one. Another S&S coaster coming to the States. This hyper coaster will feature many records such as, get this, the tallest inversion in the world at 197 feet. Just imagine looking down at the ground from almost 200 feet in the air. After that, you'll go into the world's largest banana roll and other elements such as a sea serpent roll, a 0G stall, and many others to conclude this ride. This thing is massive. Like, if you've ever been to Kennywood, you see that it is a smaller park. This ride will cover half the park in its shadow. This ride is going to show no mercy, and Kennywood definitely went completely all out for this thing. They invested so much money to provide this awesome football-themed S&S tiny lapbard hypercoaster. But number 2, we go overseas to check out what Rocky Mountain Construction has been doing, and we have the infamous Untamed at Wallaby Holland. This is going to be the RMC conversion of the original Robin Hood, but this ride actually looks pretty sweet. You know, Wallaby has been really smart about this because they have revealed almost nothing about this ride. They have posted construction updates, but haven't posted any on-ride or off-ride animations of the ride. It's a complete surprise to many. What we do know is that there will be a couple elements, such as a bunny hump right after the first drop, kind of like something on Steel Vengeance, that little hill after. We will have an outwards bank turn, which is one of my favorite RMC elements of all time, if not my favorite, and we will also have a 97-degree stall. All of these sound awesome. You know, I haven't even mentioned that this ride will have 5 inversions. That's right, 5. And plus, this ride will have over 3,000 feet of track, making it around the length of Wicked Cyclone, which is kind of weird because when I did my concept, it was much, much shorter than a ride like Wicked Cyclone. They did announce that they are adding on to the layout, and I am really excited to see what this coaster brings about. Will it be the best coaster at this park? Who knows? RMC is an incredible company. They have been thriving for the past couple years with award-winning coasters such as Steel Vengeance, Wildfire, Lightning Rod. Some of these rides are considered the best on Earth. And I feel like another ride that will be on top with them will be Hakugi, also known as White Whale, also known as Moby Dick. Yeah, there are a lot of names for this one. But there's a reason why this thing is well known. This is coming to Nagashima Spa Land in Japan, and it's going to be an RMC conversion of White Cyclone. If you don't know, White Cyclone was a massive, intimate woody. Reminded me a lot about Mean Streak at Cedar Point. And I mean, look at what RMC did with Mean Streak. Just imagine what RMC could do with this. I mean, the layout's complete, the ride is testing, and looking at some of these videos, this ride's pacing looks on top. This ride features a double up, a double down, a stall, lots of stalls actually when it comes to vertical, horizontal stalls. It provides a lot of off-axis airtime moments, a wave turn, and many other elements in between. This ride just looks like one of the best rides on Earth. In my opinion, it looks like the best ride in Asia, to be completely honest with you. This looks like top 5 on Earth worthy. This may be one of the best roller coasters on this planet. This will easily be the best coaster in Japan, even beating out one of my favorite rides like Steel Dragon at Nagashima, same park. But this thing just looks incredible. Even though it doesn't have the stats that Steel Dragon has, this thing just rocks in every way possible. In fact, it's rumored that Alan Shoki himself was presenting an even more wild layout to the Nagashima Spyland officials, and they said that was too much. So this is a watered down version of what it originally was, which is basically rumored. But still, this thing looks absolutely insane. and it's already on my bucket list, even though no one has really ridden this besides a couple water dummies, and I really can't wait to see more construction updates of this. The reason I uploaded a video like this so early on in the season is because that some rides like Copperhead Strike are already ready to go, and other rides like West Coast Racers have barely started, and other rides like Steel Curtain, White Whale, rides like that, they have all started construction and have topped off, and some are even testing. But I do know for certain that all of these rides will definitely provide smiles on everyone's face when they get on that lift hill or launch or whatever starts up the ride. But I hope you enjoy your ride. This is Cedar Flags, and I will see you later.